But first, for some time now, at least a decade, eco-warrior Tim Flannery has been trying to tell Australians that drought is the new norm and that climate change is inextricably linked to bushfires. Now, I agree with him on climate change. There's definitely no doubt that it's linked to bushfires, but as I keep saying, and this is where these zealots shoot themselves in the foot, we must also acknowledge a terrible lack of foresight on backburning and the build-up of fuel in our forests and national parks, which is as much an issue as climate change as we try to prevent these bushfires. The fact people like Flannery won't debate fuel build-up in parks as a link to increased bushfires shows how out of touch they are. It's not part of the script, it's not part of the narrative, it's not part of what makes them tick. They also suggest these latest bushfires are unprecedented, the worst ever. No, that's not the case. In 1851, that was the worst. And also in 1939 in Victoria, 77 people died and 5 towns were lost in that particular state. The biggest hoax from people like Flannery is this rot about rain. Now, I know it's been very, very dry. There's no doubt about that. But Flannery has been telling us for many years that the rain has dried up completely, that climate change means it just doesn't rain anymore. He said, even the rain that falls isn't going to fill our dams and river systems. That was in 2004. 2004, he also said, I think there is a fair chance that Perth will be the 21st century's first ghost metropolis. The reason? Climate change. In 2007, he said, Brisbane and Adelaide, home to 3 million people combined, could run out of water by year's end. In 2007, he was on a roll. He said, over the past 50 years, Australia has lost about 20% of its rainfall, and one cause is almost certainly global warming. It goes on and on and on and on. Flannery. Now, the dams with the recent rains are in reasonable shape. They just ticked over 60% in southeast Queensland. The Hinds Dam is over 90%. The Warragamba Dam level has doubled in recent weeks. It's 69% capacity now. The list goes on and on. There are dams that are filling up around the country, and as we speak, Queensland really copping a drenching. When are we as a nation going to hold these doomsayers like Flannery to account? He gets on the ABC, he gets on that rubbish program Q&A and talks about problems with climate change and the link with bushfires, and these impressionable young millennials, they give him a round of applause and they point the finger at the terrible climate change deniers. Then they head off home and head out the next morning and glue themselves to a road or a bridge. Now, there's an environmental scaremongering cottage industry going on in this country. People, in fact, going on around the world. People are making a fortune out of scaring others witless to what that the world is about to end. Teenage eco-zealots add nothing to this debate. Well, it continues to rain around Australia, which is brilliant news, and we'll have Melinda Pavey, the New South Wales Water Minister, on very shortly. The dams are filling up. She'll give us an insight into where they all are. The bushfires are just about extinguished, and that's great news. And life goes on until the next time, when the Tim Flannerys and the Greta Thunbergs of the world start their histrionics again. Time to chill out, guys. This planet's been going for 4.543 billion years. I'll repeat that. 4.543 billion years. I'm tipping we've got a bit more left in us just yet.